Okay, how's it going, guys? I did a little review video a couple months ago about the Maverick Sport, and it seemed to get a little bit of attention. I just did a quick walk around with it. So today I want to give my honest review of the 2021 Can-Am Maverick Sport 1000R Xrc model. So I just turned 1,000 miles. It's got 1,072 miles, and it's got 85 hours on it. So what are my thoughts? What are the good? What are the bad? Would I do it all over again? Would I make a different decision? So I imagine if you own one, you might wonder what other people think about it. And if you're looking to buy one, you might be looking for this video. So make sure you stay tuned here. I'll give you everything I feel about this thing, good, bad, accessories, walk around, everything. So stay tuned, we'll hit the intro here, and then we'll get started. So a couple questions that's right off the top of my head, we'll get right to the easy ones, is at 1,000 miles and coming up on a year and a half of ownership. I bought it October at the end of 21, so I've owned it all of 22 and a couple months into 23 here. So a year and a half of ownership, 1,000 miles. Would I do it all over again? And the answer is yes. So this came in about 24 grand, brand new, before taxes, fees, dealer fees, all that stuff. And that's obviously before the accessory obsession that everybody gets with any machine, no matter what. So I chose to go with this XRC model. One, because my buddy has an XMR model, a 2019, and he had no issues with it at all. So that kind of led me to want this Maverick Sport itself. One of the X models, and my local dealership didn't have an XMR, they didn't have an XXC, but they had this XRC in stock at sticker. So they weren't asking any more than sticker, they wouldn't come off a sticker, nothing. It was just at sticker, $23,799 plus probably, I don't know, $2 grand in fees. So that was it. As soon as I seen that, there was a lot of things that I liked about this over other side-by-sides. I had had a Polaris 900 before and had major issues with it. ECM go bad, entire motor go bad, control arms, ball joints, carrier bearing, U-joints, wheel bearings. And I know that goes bad with any machine, but that thing just, it was every time we went out, it was breaking down, getting towed home. So terrible issues with the Polaris that just gave me a sour taste to want to go to Can-Am. My buddy had a Can-Am, my dad had a Can-Am Commander at the time. Nobody had any issues with them at all, so I wanted to go with a Can-Am. So to answer that question, yes, I would totally do it all over again. If I were looking for an X3 or something along the lines of an X3, obviously you're not going to be looking at a Maverick Sport. But if you're looking at like a Razor, or something along those lines, I don't think a Razor compares to an X3. An X3 is really an X3. Maybe a YXZ might be kind of similar to an X3, but they're really kind of a league of their own. So anyway, I chose this for storage, for ground clearance, for practicality, and I really didn't want all that power of an X3. So yeah, I would do it all over again. Okay, so we'll go with another easy question. What have I had break down on this thing? What's went wrong in the 1,000 miles that I've owned it, in the year and a half that I've owned it? You pay almost 30 grand for something, and really it's a gamble. You don't know if something's gonna go wrong, what went wrong, if you should buy an extended warranty, for instance. So I'm pretty familiar with extended warranties, and when you buy things, and usually they kind of swindle you into that stuff. So I was already gearing to say no But really, they really get you in the finance department, and you know, they break it down. Well, it's only $10 extra a month or whatever, and we'll give you an extended warranty for the whole life of the loan. So you're buying this $30,000 thing, and you're like, okay. So I just said okay to the extended warranty, which covered everything mechanical on this machine, because the Can-Am warranty is only 6 months. So I hope you know that if you own one, or if you're looking at one. But that's it, 6 months period. After that, you're done. Nothing. 30 grand, who cares? So anyway, what have I had go wrong? Really? Other than a fluke, I haven't had any issues at all. You get in this thing, starts every time, goes where you want, absolutely goes where you want. Absolutely no issues at all with it. You know, we've had it plenty of places, up hills, plenty of power. You know, it's not short on power at all. And it's just really, really reliable. So the fluke, maybe about 900 miles in this thing. A couple months ago, I had a rotational clicking noise coming from the left rear. Just a little tiny noise every time you would go around like tight turns, coming down a hill or something like that. So I didn't really want to go back to the dealer or anything, because everybody knows about a dealer. You know, usually they're going to try and screw you over or whatever, do terrible jobs. But anyway, it was my selling dealer, and at that point I had no issues with the place whatsoever. So I took it back to the selling dealer with my extended warranty, because 900 miles, even though it was like 10 months old, it wasn't in factory Can-Am warranty at the time. So I took it to my local dealer, told him it has a rotational clicking noise. I actually typed it all out on a computer and printed it so they would know exactly what my concern was. And it took them like 3 or 4 weeks to get it in, and then they finally got it in, and the service manager calls me, and I won't go into the whole spiel, but he was a dick, and he's not very good at his job, and not very knowledgeable, not respectful at all. So if you just spent 30 grand and you're at 900 miles and you bring it in with just a simple clicking noise, and we had planned to go to the Hatfield-McCoy trails in about a month after that, so obviously I'm planning to take this machine. And he says, hey sir, he says, you ever had a transmission service done on that thing? And I was just taken aback at first, so I like go to the owner's manual real quick as we're on the phone, you know. Well, I only brought it to you for maintenance so far, and I brought it to you for the first oil change, and nobody said it was due for a transmission service. The owner's manual doesn't say it's due for a transmission service, so what are you talking about, you know? And he says, oh, we drained your transmission fluid, it's got some metal in it, that thing needs a tranny. It's gonna be 3 months, won't come in till December. Just like that. And it was like, blew my mind, because now I can't take it to Hatfield. I'm still paying a couple $100 a month on it. I just bought it 10 months ago, and all I did was bring it in for a clicking noise, you know? So like I flip out, and we go back and forth, and he says there's metal chunks on the drain plug, you know, there's chunks in it is what he says. So whatever, they order a training. And I do a lot of digging and try and find one and see if somebody else has one, or call Can-Am customer service, which is recommended. Just keep them in the loop if you have any major issues. Some people on horses just came through here. I've never seen anybody on horses in the trail before. The lady says hello, and I'm like, what the? Just making sure there's nobody creeping around. So anyway, 3 months for the tranny. You know, I do my best to try and find one, because they don't give a shit, the dealer. And call Can-Am customer service, tell them, you know, nothing. Can't do anything. Needs a tranny. They don't want to rebuild it, they're just going to replace the whole thing. Can-Am does not support anything to do with the warranty. 900 miles, I called them, they weren't covering anything at all. They said it's on you, you know, just let us know once the repair's all finished, and we'll see if we can do something for you. So the dealer pitches it to my extended warranty, which you shouldn't need at 900 miles and 10 months old, but luckily I bought the extended warranty, because the tranny was 4 grand, the labor was 1,000, and in addition, I'll tell you, it needed 2 axles too, which... So anyway, the transmission's covered, extended warranty. I don't know anything at all. So as like an intelligent driver of a side-by-side, as a man, you know, maybe a woman, but you know, if you know things about automotives and mechanics, you're probably thinking like, dude, it probably just needs an axle. Like, why'd you take it to the dealer, you know? Well, it was a $20 deductible on my extended warranty, so if it needed an axle, 20 bucks versus changing it plus a couple hundred. So, and I told the guy it probably needed an axle when I dropped it off, but they said, you know, we'll look at it. Oh, needs a tranny. Okay, all right. So for months this goes by. We went to the Hatfield trails. I had to borrow a machine while still making the payment. And yeah, so I had to borrow a machine for Hatfield, lost all of fall riding, and still paying on it, you know. And the dealer gets the transmission, and finally, it's here, you know. Yes, finally I get this thing back. And they put it in, and the service manager calls me later that day. He says, hey, this thing needs a left rear axle. It's still making the clicking noise. And like, if you're even listening to this, you have to be like, are you kidding me? You know, like, what the fuck? I'm like, you just made me wait 3 months for a transmission. You made me make all these payments so far. We went through all this frustration, and they bought a transmission, and it didn't even need it. All it needed was a left rear axle. Yep. I said, do you have one? Well, I don't know. So like, he already made that call, you know, whatever. Ended up, they put a left rear axle in it. It was still making the clicking noise. Now they put a right rear axle in it. Noise is gone. Returned to me. Everything's all good. Noise is gone. So luckily I didn't drive it at all after this whole dealer shitstorm. Because in my garage, I went under it and I could see the belly pan was a little wet. And I'm like, oh, it's probably just like runoff from the tranny, you know. I don't see any fluid leaks or anything, but let me just double check the transmission fluid. So I pull the dipstick, absolutely no fluid on the dipstick. They just changed a transmission, 2 rear axles, and had it for 3 months. Can-Am customer service was involved. The owner of Johnny K's himself, who owns multiple stores, and his best technician was on it, you know what I'm saying? I got that spiel. And I get it, and there's no fluid on the dipstick. Like, you have to be brain dead, really. Like, the detail kid who brought it around could have took a piss in there and filled it up to make sure it was on the dipstick. And I don't remember off the top of my head. I took pictures and measurements, but it was a third of what it should have been. So it was only like 20 ounces and it needed 50 ounces. Literally, like, if I'd have drove that, it'd have just blew up the transmission they just put in it. So I'm done going there for service whatsoever. I went and bought my own Royal Purple fluid. I drained all of whatever shit fluid they had in the transmission out, put my own fluid in it, and it's been about 20 miles since then. Had a couple trail rides and stuff. No leaks, no noises, no problems, nothing at all. So, what do I think happened? I think it needed a left rear axle from the beginning, and they messed the right rear axle up in the process, and they put a tranny in it because they're idiots. So, moral of the story is, if you take it to the dealer, you got to stay on them. You don't think you're being rude or anything, because this is every day. That's what they do. How do you know? You know, could be Joe Schmo back there working on it. I don't know. Yeah, but that was the only thing I had go wrong with it. Just a little clicking noise that turned into a service fiasco with the dealer. But overall, it didn't cost me any money at the dealership. I wanted my old parts back. They didn't give me my old parts. They couldn't present any pictures. I didn't get to see the fluid, you know. But Can-Am customer service stepped up, gave me a gift certificate for $750. And after I left a couple terrible reviews, the owner of the dealership gave me a $500 in-store gift card. Obviously, you know, if you're that irate of a customer and you have that bad a service, they should do it no matter what. But it was nice overall of somebody to at least step up and do something for me. But other than that, nothing. I mean, I just checked. It's still got good brakes all around. You know, other than just buying accessories and doing different stuff, it's been perfect. I guess we'll just go next on the bad things, what I don't like about it. There's really not a whole lot that I can think of that I don't like about it. I mean, obviously the fact that it came with 0 accessories, other than everything the X package comes with. I wish that it came with some accessories, so I guess that's a point that I don't like about it. I don't like the fact that it came with the rock crawler tires, but it is an XRC model, so that's just my opinion of the tires and our riding style here. You know, obviously everybody's going to change the tires out to something different. So I don't like where the cup holders are located. I think the fact that Can-Am put the cup holders on the floor, where you have to like go down here to get it under your leg to get a drink, is a little inconvenient, but you really shouldn't be worrying about cup holders that much when you're driving a side-by-side. But on the other hand, everybody knows that you're gonna have some kind of drink in there with your wife or, you know, whatever, out riding. So definitely move those cup holders to a different spot. That's a complaint. And the only thing about the whole drivability is the fact that it does not come with dual rate springs. So a lot of people switch it over to the shock therapy kit, which is dual rate springs, and apparently it makes the world of difference to ride. It rides great. You know, I had a Razor 900 before. Going to these Fox podium shocks is a huge difference. I mean, it's like riding on a cloud now. But you know, if you were going to be snobby about it, it's not that much of a cloud for 30 grand. So I think a lot of people, from what I've seen, switch over to those shock therapy springs, and they have really good luck with them. Apparently it changes the ride, rides a lot better. For that ride, I did take off the front sway bar, and it helped a lot. You know, just going over little bumps on the trails smooth, it jars you around a little bit. It's not quite as plush maybe as an X3 ride or something, but that's the only thing I don't like about it. You know, it's just a little tiny rough ride here and there if you were going to complain there. Cup holder location, and you had to spend a ridiculous amount of money on top of it for accessories to kind of get it to what you like. So I guess that's the only bad stuff about it. Other than that, I love this thing. I mean, if you're thinking about buying it, 100% get it, especially the X package. I'll do a walk around here and show you why, you know, and name some things that it comes with over just the sport models, but definitely buy one. So like I was saying, if you're going to buy one of these, or you already own one, you know the value of it, but buying one of the XRC, XMR, or XXC models really makes a huge difference, and it is worth the money over one of just the sports or a trail. Just spend the extra money, because if you just buy one of the lower models, you're going to be disappointed. But let's start off with everything on this machine after I just did that quick walk around there of what I bought, you know, what doesn't come on this. So this front bumper, these wheels and tires, those bead locks, these fender flares, as you can see, they're extended fender flares, those hard windows, those mirrors, that windshield, that light bar, that roof. If you look inside there, all the door bags, the center bag, the harnesses, that center console, the whips, the toolbox, the huge trunk, the HMF pipe, the reverse lights, the rock lights, and the tuner. Man, those people just came through again on the horses. Scared the shit out of me. All right, so everything I just went over is everything it does not come on this machine. You got to buy all that, all the accessories. So it's a ridiculous amount of money. What does come with the X package is the fact that it's a 64-inch machine. It's sitting at about 67 inches with my wheels right now, but so it already comes with those super arched A-arms, you know, the beefy construction of those. Comes with the Fox shocks, comes with those A-arm protectors underneath, comes with that factory Can-Am winch, comes with the huge poly skid plate all underneath it. Let's see. Yeah, the fact that it's a 64-inch model is a huge deal. Comes with those super hard, large doors. You know, those are nice, beefy doors. It looks like a car door seal on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So that's all included in the X package. It has the big instrument cluster. It has the X package seats, which are definitely nice looking. It comes with the rear trail bumper. And I might be forgetting one or two more things, but definitely worth getting one of those. It comes with 30-inch tires versus, you know, I think 28s on the other one. So definitely beneficial to get one of the X's. Awesome machine. A couple of things that sold me was the ground clearance. I mean, look at that. I've never had a ground clearance issue with this thing ever. Another thing that sold me is the XRC, XMR, and XXC models come with a locker in the front. A lot of the other models don't. The fact that it's a 64-inch machine. The hard doors are awesome. Plenty of power. You would not need any more power at all with this thing. You know, you can get up to 60 miles an hour like nothing. Climb any hill you want. That trunk there was awesome. It was like the first accessory that we bought. You know, it really covers the whole trunk area, makes it all waterproof. So I definitely would recommend getting one of those if you do have one of these. I love it. You can see here. Opens up there. Super nice amount of area. Nice rubber seal. Yeah, this is part of the linq system. I kind of retrofitted my own clips there. You could look back at another video, but Harbor Freight box full of tools, linq system, screwed into all that, so I can just pop that right off and take it off if I need to. These are like reverse lights with a halo. Whips. With the whips, we got rock lights under all four corners, inside, up underneath, up under the front grille. So yeah, love this machine. Wouldn't change really anything about it. And I guess that's it. Thanks, and stay tuned for the next video.